Hello there. Today I'm going to be doing an ethnicity reveal and answering my most asked question. Are you Indian? Next slide. Okay, perfect. So, who am I? Well, I'm a YouTuber named Brown Tech Daddy. It's actually my legal name on my birth certificate. And I make videos about my life, sometimes about my job, literally about anything. I'm still trying to figure that out, as you can tell by this video. And I wanted to make a video revealing my ethnicity in honor of hitting 40k subscribers, which thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Some of you might be wondering, why this topic? What is the motivation for this presentation? Well, if you just take a look at my comment section, you'll understand why. I thought you were from India. Where are you from? Bro, where are you from? One time someone asked, "Are you Indian?" And then I pinned his comment, to which he then said, "Don't pin me, but answer me, are you Indian?" Sometimes I'll get asked, "Are you Pakistani? Do you know Bangladesh?" Reading these comments, it's clear that this is a crucial, life-changing question that needs to be addressed. Sometimes I feel like this is the only aspect of my life that all my viewers care about, but that's totally understandable. I'm more than happy to talk about it. So why don't we start by diving into the current analysis and state of research on this pressing, burning issue. Again, we have to go back into the comment section. Arsh asked, "Are you Indian?" Jenny responds, "It has become the constant question literally in every video." Well, I don't think so. He's Indian because of his accent. And then Pratush comes through with this deep dive analysis. Yeah, accent-wise, he don't sound Indian, but looks-wise and his food choice is Indian food. Also, his channel name is Brown, which is used mostly to refer to Indians. Also, his name is Sid, which might be Siddhartha. So the confusion continues until he clears the air himself. Well, Pratush, today I will be clearing the air. And I also want to thank you for your attention to detail, your diligence, and for being a clear, regular viewer of my channel. I really appreciate it. However, you're not the only one who has done a deep dive analysis of my videos. If you look at any of my other comment sections under a different video, Futuristic Technology .521 said, "Brown Tech Daddy, are you Indian? Please reply." Doer Sparkly 9523 says, "Yes, he was eating samosa chaat." I was eating samosa chaat in one of my day in the life videos. Some of you might understand that. Then John Lobo 9809 says, "Well, I sometimes eat pizza, but I'm not Italian. Mamma mia." And then he responds, "But bro, I'm Indian, and by seeing him, I can clearly recognize he is Indian too." And then someone said, "No, he likes the samosa chaat. It doesn't mean he's Indian, but it's great that Microsoft has Indian samosa chaat." And then someone just tagged me, Brown Tech Daddy, and asked, "What college did you attend?" So, as you can see, there is a lot of disagreement and conflicting theories regarding my ethnic origins. But to answer the overarching question and conclude whether or not I am Indian, we must first define, what does it mean to be Indian? If you take a look back in history, we can see that there was once the British East India Trading Company and then the British royal government who ruled over India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. This was over the last 300 to 400 years, so at one point in history, all of these countries were under the same legal, political, and geographical entity. Does that mean if I'm Pakistani or Bangladeshi, can I still claim to be of Indian ethnicity? Well, before we even answer that, let's take a look back even further in history. At one point, we had the Chola Empire, which ruled over portions of modern-day Sri Lanka, the Maldives Islands, Malaysia, Indonesia, Burma, and southern Thailand. And looking at this map, even when the empire wasn't directly ruling over these territories, it still had incredibly strong influence over all these areas. Well, this was all like 1,000 years ago. So what happens if we take a step back even further in history? Well, there was the Mauryan Empire, which ruled over portions of modern-day Afghanistan, Bhutan, Iran, Nepal, and even China. And this was like a little more than 2,000 years ago. So, given all these countries were partially under the rule of various Indian empires, Can he also kind of claim to be of Indian descent or Indian ethnicity? Are you comfortable with that? Am I comfortable with that? Does it even matter what I'm comfortable with? Well, there's too many open questions regarding what does it mean to be Indian. Let's say we're talking about modern day India, right? Are we only concerned about someone who was born and raised in modern day India? Well, what if they were born but not raised, or vice versa? Do they also have to be of Indian descent? What if they were of African descent, but they were born and raised in India? Do they also have to be an Indian citizen? What if they're white, but they became an Indian citizen via naturalization and or marrying an Indian citizen? So, because there's all these open questions, for the purposes of this discussion, I'm going to have to make some assumptions and define the parameters of what does it mean to be Indian. We'll have 4 assumptions. Assumption 1, we are talking about the modern day post-1947 territory of the Republic of India. Assumption 2, actually, before we even get to assumption 2, just want to make it clear we're not talking about Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, or Nepal, the modern day countries that is. Assumption 2, we are primarily concerned with whether I am of Indian descent, were my parents, grandparents, great-grandparents of Indian ethnicity. And then assumption 3, this might be a hot take and might ruffle some feathers. The geographical location in which I was born and raised in is irrelevant for the purposes of this discussion. Assumption 4 also might be a hot take. My nationality is irrelevant. Whichever country I have obtained citizenship from is irrelevant for the purposes of this discussion. I know this was just a ton of information, so just to make sure you all understand the criteria, let's go over some famous Indians who fit this criteria, just to make sure we're all on the same page here. So here we have Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google. Here we have Mahatma Gandhi, an Indian independence activist who led the peaceful struggle and protest against British colonial rule. Here we have Rishi Sunak, who is the current Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Even though he was born and raised in the UK, he is of Indian descent. And then last but not least, we can't forget about the most powerful woman in the US government today under the Joe Biden administration, who is actually of Southern Indian descent, Kamala Harris. So now it's finally time for the long-awaited, much-anticipated answer to the crucial, life-changing question that you all have been asking. The answer to whether or not I am Indian is... Can we get a drum roll, please? Coming up right after we talk about the sponsor of today's video, Alto. This is a special sponsor because it's actually my best friend's website. Now, do you know anyone that is autistic, deaf? Maybe they're not an English speaker? If so, it's possible they faced communication barriers living in this country. Unfortunately, communication is needed to survive here. One day you may need to call your hospital to ask if your surgery is covered by insurance, and another day you may need to call your landlord because your heater or air conditioning isn't working. What if I told you there's a free resource that can make phone calls on your behalf? Simply go to altodial.com, enter the phone number that you want to dial, say what you're calling about and what you want Alto to say, and then schedule the call for business hours. Afterwards, get a call summary of what happened, and you'll realize that you never have to wait on hold ever again. If you know anyone experiencing communication challenges due to mental disabilities, social anxiety, deafness, or not knowing English, it would be greatly appreciated if you could share this website with them and let me know what feedback they have. Without further ado, let's continue the video. All right, first off, I want to thank everyone for bearing with me for this long. We're so close to the end. If you think I'm purposely drawing out this video and dangling the carrot in front of you because I'm a selfish, greedy YouTuber who wants to keep you watching to help the algorithm and to help me make more money, you are exactly right. I need the video to be at least 8 minutes long to be eligible for mid-roll ads. And I think it also helps the algorithm to have longer videos. So thank you for bearing with me. I really appreciate it. How much time do we even have left? Oh, we're way past 8 minutes. Okay, I think we're good actually. I think we can reveal the answer then. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So the answer. The answer to whether or not I'm Indian is sorry guys. I can't do this. I can't do this.
What the f***? We've been waiting for so long. Just tell us already.
I can't. I'm sorry. It's too much pressure. Hold on. I'm getting a call. Hello?
Dude, what is going on right now? We're all waiting for you to tell us your ethnicity. Just tell us.
I can't, man. It's just too much pressure.
Dude, please tell us. I need to know.
Okay. Okay. All right. Fine. You win. I'll reveal it. Okay. All right, everyone. Sorry about that. Just having a little panic attack there, but I'm gonna reveal the answer. Okay. Based on the criteria and assumptions that we have discussed so far in this presentation, the answer to whether or not I am Indian is yes. Yes, I am Indian.
Dang it! I thought he was Chinese.
Wow, it feels really good to say that after 3 years of having this YouTube channel. Let me know what type of videos you want to see next on the channel, whether it's about my experiences growing up as Indian or brown in a post 9/11 America, or whether you just want me to go back to making Microsoft day in the life videos. I'm fine either way, but let me know in the comments.